This is part 2 of my experience of my first few days in prison. A young 19-year-old kid struggling with drug addiction, doing 12 years for armed robberies, stolen motor vehicle, now owner, entrepreneur of Asai Underworld. Hopefully this story hits the youth, so they know crime does not pay. Okay, this is part 2 as a 19-year-old kid, my first few days in prison back in the days. Continuing part 1 when I was on the run, a young kid, drug addiction, doing crime, armed robberies, stolen motor vehicle and more. Now we finished part 1 in the truck going to the prison. I'm on the truck going to the prison, my first time, not knowing what to expect. Man, as you can see, prison is dark. It's a dark place. It's cold, it's dark. You don't know what to expect. There's people, man, that have done 20 years, 30 years in there. So I don't know what to expect. Anyway, I get to my first prison and I'll put up a photo to show how I looked when I first went in, a young 19-year-old kid, and I'll show you years later the difference. I grew up in prison. Man, I went in, I didn't shave. Before you knew I was shaving inside, a young kid and so forth. So I get to my first jail late at night, get my jail greens, get taken to my unit. As I'm being taken to my unit, one of the boys noticed me in that unit, calls me to the window, and we're talking through the window at night. Yeah, Bill, catching up, what are you doing, brother? What'd you get done for? Armed robbery cars, robbery, stolen motor vehicle, this and that. At that time, I wasn't sentenced. I ended up getting 12 years for armed robberies, stolen motor vehicle. So anyway, next morning, we spoke for about an hour.
Just because I'm aware of the FPO, I'm not gonna pat you down, nothing like that. Just gotta make sure you got no weapons or anything like that. You happy to just set up for me?
I didn't know who runs the wing, there's jail politics or not, but they must have got offended that we're at night shouting through the cells. I wake up, there's muster, there's the way that unit was set up, there's the screws desk here, there's a hall that way, and there's just cell, same thing, the yard's out there. So I wake up, you stood outside my cell, they're doing muster. I noticed everyone there, it's of one Nasho heavy sort of, and I stand, do my muster, and I start walking. My cell was the last one at the end of the hall. I start walking, as I'm walking, I notice everyone looking me up and down. I was a young kid, I used to box, everyone knows in my area, I grew up, I was a bluer, I used to box, I knew how to throw them, I was confident with myself. So I'm walking past, everyone's giving me dirties. One shorter bloke stood in front of his cell like this, just staring up at me with a smirk on his face. I remember looking back, smirking back like, what? As I got to my mate, we daff each other up. Hey, what are you doing, my bro? Catching up. I go, bro, they were giving me dirties, cuz. One little bloke was still staring me out. He goes, Bill, brother, do your time, because they'll jump you here, cuz. They run this unit here. They'll jump you, brother, with no hesitation. Just please put your head down, do your time. I go, nah, brother, I can throw him, cuz. I'll just put him on show and say, no, we'll go one-on-one. He goes, it doesn't work like that. I go, you got my back? He goes, yeah. We go out to the yard. I notice the tension. I meet boys down in the next unit. There was a lot of boys behind at the back. Bill, you need anything? Boys stick together, this and that. Lots of our boys getting jumped. That's how it was back then. It's not like now. Now, I'm putting this out for the youth just to see, man, that crime doesn't pay. Not only you lose your freedom, you don't get out the same. Look what I experienced at 19 years old, my first few days. Get locked in, next day, same thing, muster. I'm standing outside my cell. They're all staring me out. That short bloke, again, in front of his cell, full looking up at me like that. I look down, I look at him like, what, as I'm walking, I go. We go outside again, I feel the tension. There was only 2-3 of us in that wing compared to, man, the whole wing. Again, the boys down the bottom, look after yourselves. If there's anything, we got you, bro. We'll jump over and sort this out. I don't know what's going on. I'm thinking about my charges, armed robbery, lawyers, family, and now I'm dealing with this. Anyway, that lunchtime, we go back in the unit and for lock-in for about an hour, and the big bloke, the head of them there, calls me up and he goes, oh, Bill, can I talk to you for a sec? I go, yeah. I don't know, I'm green. Next time, I'll just start swinging now that I know I'm older. So anyway, walk inside the unit. He goes to me, oh, is that your cell down there? I go, yeah, it is, bro. We walk all the way down to the end of the hall to get to my cell. As I go to walk in my cell, I notice there's already a few boys in my cell. So I look and I hesitate a bit and he goes, no, all good. I walk in. I should have started swinging there and there. I was green. As I walk in, from the cell across from me, another few run in, they close the door. Wow, I'm cramped now in the cell. Few behind me, few in front of me. When you walk in the cell, they're very small. There's a bunk, double bunks here, sink, toilet, shower. The shower has back walls, side walls like that, window, there's a bench, so you can't move. So as he goes, you know what this is about? I go, I think so. I go, if he's got a problem, we can go one-on-one. He goes, nah, that's not how it works here. As he done that, he's looking over my shoulder. I clinched my jaw straight away. Like I said, I grew up boxing. I clinched my jaw and I noticed him nod over my shoulder. All of a sudden, I felt a hit and I just leant forward and bombed him. And it was on from there. I'm copping hits. I covered up. I'm very fortunate. I made my way back to the shower where there's a wall beside me and I can't get, if I had stayed in the middle of the cell, I don't know how it would have ended up. I would have got ragdolled. That's the truth. So I ended up there. I lifted my head and started swinging. Bang, just throwing them and they're throwing them. I'm getting hit and I can feel I'm connecting them. Throughout that, I noticed someone jump up from behind them and chuck something, bang. And it hit me straight in the mouth here. It chipped my teeth underneath. Later, I come to know it was a soap that got chucked. I knew that because I could taste it. And yeah, it's funny now, but anyway, I'm throwing them, they're throwing them. I'm fortunate enough, they couldn't out me no more. They ended up like stalemate, they ran out. As they run out, I didn't run out. I didn't run out screaming to attract the prison guards, the screws. Stayed quiet, washed my face, looked in the mirror. For those who done time know jail mirrors. They've been scrubbed with mascara that much times, you can barely see. But I looked, there's no damage on my face. I washed my face, dried it, and I look. But the truth of the matter was, it looked like nothing happened to me. But my head was all lumped up. My whole head was bruised up. My inside of my mouth was busted up. My teeth were chipped. All my mouth was busted up. My ear was killing me from the hits I got on my ears. But it didn't look like nothing happened. So I walk out of the cell. In prison, if something happens, everyone just pretends, they're doing something. As I'm walking through, I noticed them looking at me as I'm walking through. I noticed a few of them, I busted them up. I connected a few on the mouth, but to the face. So it looked like they were worse off to damage than me. But really, I was hurting. I go to my mate that I grew up with was on the window, facing the window. And I walk up, I go, hey, and I said his name. I go, brother, look at me. And he didn't, he ignored me. I go, brother, look at me. And he was crying. I go, brother, look at me. And he goes, Bill, I can't face you. I don't know what you're thinking of me right now. I go, brother, it's all good, cuz. I go, look at me. Look at my face, no effect. I didn't say, brother, my head's like that now, my mouth. They open up, we go to the back. I went to the back fence. I remember the boys, they said to me, Bill, anything. So I went back there, they freaked out. They went inside, passed me stuff under the fence. Look what I just got myself into. I don't know. I was just introduced to jail politics. I was green. Anyway, I don't know. The cameras are zooming in. We come to know one of my own kind was at the door holding the door. Now that's a no-no. Everyone knows that. I come to find that out. That was the first guy we were going to get. Anyway, they passed me stuff. Before you know it, they called muster. They go to me, you wait there. They had already passed me things to get ready so we can get our get back. They grab me, handcuff me, take me away. They find stuff on me. I resist. I ended up in a punch on with the screws. That's a no-no. I ended up paying the price for that too. I get tipped to another jail. The other jail, I done my segro. Now, my first few days in prison, I end up in segro. Wow. I end up in another jail. Now, this jail, man, there was boys there. Our boys, we had the jail, we had the unit, and it was good, yeah? Now I'm finally doing time, settling into jail and so forth. Anyway, a couple of months in, someone walks in with black bags to the unit. And I grab the boys, I go, huh? They go, what? I go, man, that's the guy. One of the guys that jumped me, one of the main guys. The boys went to go to their cells. I go, where you going? They go, we're going to get ready. We're going to get him. I go, nah, brother. To all the youth out there, this is prison. It's disgusting. When you get caught, man, you think I'm done, turn a new page. No. Now I gotta be more of that guy to live this life now. So I convinced the boys, I go, listen, you're not doing this to me. You grew up with me. You know I can throw them. You know I'm a stand-up guy. I don't want to, brother. I want to show them we can go one-on-one. I convinced them. They said, all right. I walk up to him. He goes to shake my hand. I go, no. Not going to happen, bro. And I swung. And he jumped back. He's jumped back. I go, brother, you jump me. I'm going to show you that we got power here, but we can go one-on-one. He puts him up. It was a good one-on-one back and forth between me and him. He could fight, he could throw him, I could throw him. And it was sort of like a stalemate. I nailed down, put my chin down, and I connected with a mad combo. Hit him. Anyway, this is not what I'm telling this story about. I ended up, people that were there that experienced me getting jumped, seen what happened. And they all shook my hand and said, Bill, they jumped you. You had that power here and you could have done the same, but you didn't. Anyway, it was respect. This is how I got my respect inside of prison. I was green. Along the way, man, I ended up getting 12 years for armed robberies. Man, stolen motor vehicle, a young kid, yeah, that had drug addiction and everything else that came with that life. I grew up on the gritty streets. Then I grew up in the prison yards and the prison cells. Man, I'm telling this story for the youth. I'm gonna stop this story here. There's many more. There's another time, a year later, where I got stabbed on my face. I got all the scars and so forth. And I got caught up in jail politics. But every time it was tit for tat. I got my get back. They got us, we got them. Years later, we all became best friends. This is just a time how jail was. It was just gangs and politics and so forth. But this get back and forth, getting dragged into jail politics, made me do my time hard. There's people that do their jail time, for example, in C classes, reading, studying. I was young and I got caught up in it. I ended up going to Goulburn for how many years? Goulburn MPU. From there, the STG unit, the gangs unit, for being influential inside the system, running the ball up and so forth. So this is part 2 of my first few days in prison, dealing with being locked up and the stress of being introduced to prison. That was my few days. So stay tuned for part 3. I want to give a big shout out to Certified Streetwear. Gonna drop soon my clothing line. It represents my past and my present